I thought kids came out very ready to play. Thought they demonstrated that first drive down the field, and I think the defense, what they did early in the football game was indicative of how they prepared and how they practiced and how they got ready to play the game. I think obviously you have a punt return against you for a touchdown. Anything in a kicking game is momentum, and we had some momentum, and then we give up the touchdown on the punt return, which is very disappointing. You look at from the standpoint of taking care of the football, and we've talked a lot about that, probably more than I would like to or you would like to talk about it, but that's one thing we've got to do a better job of, and that's constantly coached, and we talk about it, and sometimes those things happen, and we got to make sure we're going back to work, working hard on it, and we can't have that happen through the Big Ten season. We talked as a team afterwards about what we need to do, and I remind them of the 1998 team, which was a team that went to Notre Dame. I was part of that team and then lost here at home versus Syracuse, and then went off and won the Big Ten or part of the Big Ten championship. And those goals, our goals, are all out there. And I do believe we have a team that can do that. Now, you can't play the way you did today and do that. We realize that. But we got a bunch of guys in that locker room who every day work their tails off and are supportive and believe in each other.
I've got microphones for questions. Raise your hand.
Brady, after a game like this, when you pulled your quarterback and the score was what it was, what do you see? Why do you believe you can contend at the Big Ten this year?
And that's a great question. But, I think the one thing, Wojo, that I have that you don't is I'm with this group of young men every day. These kids, I know how they go to work. And there's things that we did very well today. We did some things not as well as we needed to. And we've got to improve on that. We've got to go back to work. And it starts with me as the head football coach. Starts with the assistants, everyone who's in Schembechler Hall. We've got to do a better job for those kids.
I just do a quick follow-up. The incident on the sidelines with you and Greg Madison, right after the penalty, was that a little loss of control there? What was that?
Well, I've known Greg since 1984, and I can guarantee you that wasn't the first time two competitive men have had I wouldn't even call it an argument.
Steve.
Brady.
Did I finish that?
What would you call
Sound
it?
like it. Discussion. You got to see us play euchre. We really have discussions.
The turnovers in the second half, obviously, were the problem. But in the first half, you had just the one turnover at the end, and still it seemed like finishing drives was the problem. Something would go. Talk about the need to be able to finish those drives.
and there's no question that that's one thing. We start a drive, we have some success with it, we get a sack, and so you're behind the sticks again, and you don't like to play offense that way. We had a penalty that put us back, and so we just got to finish those drives. First drive of the game, really, the execution and what was going on was good, but we settled for 3 points. Great kick by Matt. Good to see it from him, obviously, but we want 7 points, not 3 points.
Danny, over to your right. What's the plan of the quarterback moving forward at this point?
Yeah, I think, number one, I think it's way too early for me to assess that until, Doug and myself, and we look at the tape and all that stuff. The one thing I can tell you is sometimes it's good for the guy to come out and just watch and see what he can see from the sidelines, and look at rotations of coverages or or maybe from that standpoint. So, look, you know, there's not going to be any answers to that tonight. We will compete and challenge like we have every day. And then, you know, we will have a starting quarterback against Minnesota.